So this is a tutorial just taking you through the modelling of this part in SolidWorks. I'll probably not do much audio description of what is happening, but if you watch the steps on the screen, it should be fairly self-explanatory as to how you arrive at this finished model. Okay, let's get started in SolidWorks. So if you see this menu pop up, that's just a slightly quicker way of accessing some of the tools that are at the top of the screen here. So you don't have to use this method. The tools that I'm using are all available in the command manager at the top of the screen. I'm just doing it this way just to speed up the workflow a little bit. So you can see I'm just using common tools like the Smart Dimension tool for example. So don't let that confuse you at all. If you do actually want to use that pop-up menu, it's just the S key that I'm pressing to make that visible. So that's up to you. You can use the more basic way of doing it, which is to access the tools from up at the top of the screen. It may just be worth pointing out at this point that a feature such as this that we're about to create would probably have a fairly tight tolerance applied to it, and as you create features using sketches normally within SolidWorks, you can actually specify what tolerance you would like on a particular feature. So if we wanted to do that for this whole feature, this circular extruded cut that we're about to create, then the way that you would do that is, once you've applied a dimension to it, if you go over to the left here whilst you've got the dimension selected like I have, and then you have a look in this menu, you've got some options here. You can just put some manual tolerances on this dimension, or probably more in keeping with using standard fits, you can specify a fit. So let's select the option where we can specify a named fit. So that normally has a letter and a number associated with it, but we can also get SolidWorks to explicitly tell us what the tolerance would be for that particular fit. So that's arguably the most useful setting in here. So fit with tolerance, and then we're just free to choose from any one of the standard fits for a whole feature. In this case, so you can specify fits for shafts or fits for holes. So I think rather than scroll down through the list of all these, which you would be free to do, I know what fit I actually want. So I know it's an N fit, and I know it's going to be a N7 for this particular hole that we're going to specify here. So you can see what the system then does. It appends to the end of the dimension text firstly the fit, so it's an N7 fit, and then it informs the reader of the dimension, and ultimately of the drawing that you would probably produce using this part, what that fit specifies for this particular diameter of hole. So it's a minus fit. Yeah, so that's how you would keep track of any tolerances or fits within your part model itself. So I can use that circular sketch now to create my extruded cut, and then just set the depth that I require. So I think in this case it's 51. So it doesn't quite cut all the way through this part. One of the reasons that you might do that is if a bearing was sitting in here, you wouldn't want the bearing to fall out of the back of this part during use, so you would probably reduce the diameter of that internal bore to create a small lip, so that the bearing could be pressed in up to that lip, and the lip would retain it certainly at the back of the part there, and it gives an indication of how deep the bearing should be pressed into the hole, so you have a physical reference as to when the bearing has been pushed up hard against that back lip. So let's create that lip now. So I'm going to sketch on the face there. I'm going to create another circle, and in this instance I'm going to specify the size of this circle as just an offset from that original circle. So I think the offset is intended to be 3 millimeters inwards, and then extrude cut, and in this case I probably say extrude cut up to the next face, so that will cut through to the back of the part. So that's really the part finished now. So some interesting techniques in there, some use of a loft feature, which I don't think we've covered before, and just some slightly different ways to use some features that we have encountered before. So just common boss extrudes, fillet features, a little bit of use of the hole feature, and just some sketching techniques that you might find useful, and some setting up of our own planes so that we can sketch in locations where there aren't any primary planes. So that might be a useful technique within your parts.